Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here. Wait a minute. Did I put... Thought I had a clip. Oh well. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Hello. Nice to see you. It's been a long time.
So I'm here to talk about two new albums for you guys today in the wonderful world of music, and if you haven't been subscribed to me for long, what you should know about me is I like to review bands or artists in pairs. So one of the bands is one that I've been following for a very long time. It's actually the 5th studio album, and the album came out in the middle of the summer. And the problem was I didn't talk about it because I just couldn't find another band that complemented it well. I like to have a connection between the two bands or artists that I talk about in each video. But luckily, I have, and thank goodness the summer is not over yet. So let's talk about that first album. And it is the 5th studio album of one of my favorite bands out there. It's actually a single guy. It's Adam Young, and the band is Owl City. I have been a fan of Owl City's music ever since I first heard Ocean Eyes. That is one of the most amazing albums that I ever heard because I absolutely love the way that he rhymes as a lyricist. I loved a lot of the electronica that he uses in his albums. As the newest albums kept coming out, there really hasn't been stuff that has really wowed me. What has upset me is a lot of his best songs, like When Can I See You Again and Shine Your Way. They were songs that just showed up on movie soundtracks, and I was wondering why they weren't showing up on albums. And last year, there was only an EP that came out, but now we finally have a full album, and it's called Moble Orchestra. It's definitely a step up from the Midsummer Station, but again, it's not as good as albums like Ocean Eyes or All Things Bright and Beautiful, but there are really good songs on this album, and like A Midsummer Station, there were a lot of musical guest stars like Carly Rae Jepsen and Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. This time we get ones like Aloe Blacc and the first track Verge, which is very, very good. I really like the atmosphere and what the lyrics are all about in the song, and a song called Thunderstruck, which features a singer called Sarah Russell. But probably the best part of this album, to me, is one of the best songs on the album, and that's Unbelievable, and it features Hanson. Hanson has been around for a while, guys, and they've come a long way since the MMMBop days, but what I really love about this song is it's a song that I relate to because it's all about talking about growing up and how you spent your days of your youth. Things like Nintendo games and Jurassic Park, I love that about Unbelievable. I think it's one of the best songs that came out this year. I don't know if it's a single yet, but if it does become a single, I wouldn't be surprised if it became a huge hit on the radio. And there are also two songs from the last EP, Ultraviolet, and that is You're Not Alone and This Is the End, which are very hopeful songs, even though one of them actually talks about very dark topics. I also feel he's getting a little bit preachy. There's a lot of God-related music in this album too, and again, it's not bad, but I still feel that Owl City has lost a lot of its charm. It's not like what it was when I first got into this band, but it hit a rut, and I think he's now pulling himself out of where he was with Midsummer Station, and Moble Orchestra is definitely a nice step forward, and I'm hoping that eventually he will get back to that susical, whimsical kind of guy that he was with some of the first albums that I listened to. But now let's take a look at another album. This is a very interesting one. The band is called Strange Talk, and the album is called Castaway. It's their first album. They are from Australia. This album came out in the early portion of 2014, so I really can't have this compete with some of the albums that are up for Best Album of the Year for me in 2015, but guys, this is an amazing album. The best way to describe it is if house music and new wave 80s music had a massive, incredible orgy, and this is what came out of it. There are so many amazing sounds and lyrics and hooks in this album. All of these songs are amazing. I found this band because of the fact that I watched the trailer for the new movie that's coming out starring Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro called The Intern, and their song Young Hearts was at the end of the trailer, and I was like, who is this band? They're amazing! And it reminds me of other bands that are part of the neo-new wave line, like The Killers. There's a little bit of Imagine Dragons in there, and of course there's also that 80s vibe thanks to Walk the Moon, but songs like Castaway, Picking Up All the Pieces, Is It Real, So So La La. This album is such an amazing, positive, upbeat listen, guys. If you like sounds of bands like Walk the Moon or The Killers, or just like 80s new wave sounds in general with a little bit of dance like Daft Punk in there, because one of the songs that sounds very much like a Daft Punk or slash a house dance band is the song Falling in Love. It's awesome. You've got to listen to this album. It's one of the best albums that I have heard in a while, and I would love to see this band make more, because I want to add more of their albums to my collection, because if they sound more like this, then I'm going to be one hell of a happy camper. So that's it, guys. 2 brand new albums for you to enjoy. Actually, not so brand new, but they're new to my collection, and I would love to see your comments in the box below. Let's have a discussion about these bands if you are fans, or if you haven't heard of them, I'd love to give you some more insight on them. So for now, I am the Lawn Gnome. Thank you so much for watching, and actions speak louder than words.